So, and again, sort of like briefly with the robes, has everybody's heard the long arm of the law expression, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. West. If you look at the hand, you've got this extra bit here, which means you can't escape the justice. The long arm of the law. And also another one is the weight of your shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Also, for example, one time landowners or mayors would actually walk knowing your boundaries.
right. Yeah.
So you would actually walk, for example, you know, if you've got a very large garden, you would walk your garden to make sure that nobody's actually taken some of your trees or built something at the bottom of your garden without you knowing it. So that's why people would walk their boundaries, so that nobody had engrossed in their land. There's one or two other bits, but you know.
So Patrick, it's not just our borough, it's all the boroughs that would have long arms.
Yes, yeah. The mayor in particular is the one. The deputy mayor doesn't. Because at one time mayors were also automatically JPs.
They also used to put sort of coins or stones in the ends of this, so they could actually whack someone.
And some of them were just saying also some of the academic robes, because they had long days, they would actually keep food in their sleeves. So they would be able to nibble on it.
You know. Chicken.
You know, so nowadays, of course, they're all sort of boarded up, you know, they're sort of sealed and everything, but that was when people would actually sort of protect themselves.
The last bit is this, which is called the Jabot, and this was derived when important people like kings and, well, mayors of course, were dining, and they, you know, in the old days when they were dining, they was dribbling all the bits and pieces and chucking bones, etc., etc. And the ladies of the court, and they were the only ones that ever wore white, or certainly white silk, tore their petticoats and put it round the king or the mayor's neck. So that's what this is all for, and it's clean at the moment, so I haven't dribbled down it. So that's what this is all about. And then the coat and the robe is just really a symbol of what you are and who you represent. And the mayor is is the first citizen of the borough, and the only person above the mayor is the Queen. That's for 1 year. So I am next to the Queen in order, pecking order, which is quite nice.
And you see, at one time, the lighter the colour, the more important you were, because you actually had servants to actually keep it clean. Because the darker colours wouldn't show, whereas pale colours would actually show the dirt. So if you had servants, they would actually keep it clean for you. And also with the bibs and things like that, it was just everybody ate with their hands, so they would wipe it on.
Ladies' petticoats.
Yeah, so, you know, whenever you see, you probably won't see a Jabot in the same light now, will you?
No.
You know, the mayor's wearing a petticoat round his neck.
We have, in fact, got a lot more things around the outside of here, which is to do with the Royal, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, etc., which we are very much a part of, especially RAF, because of where RAF is, and RAF now has moved from RAF Uxbridge, and they're all on the Northolt site. So it's an extremely important part of our borough, and we take it extremely seriously. What I'll do before we'll go into the council chamber in a minute. How many of you been in the council chamber? No? Okay. Okay. That's how many people we get there on council nights, actually.
Yeah.
What happened there then? Sorry, yes, I have.
That's where you have the full council meeting.
When you protest against something. Is that when you
No. Well, yes, if you...
Yeah, because there are... Sorry.
That's all right.
In full council, there is actually people sometimes ask questions of the council, and they can actually debate that question. People have the right to attend because it is a public meeting. So people certainly have opinions, and you know, sometimes people do petitions and things like that. So, you know, your ward council is quite relevant in that aspect of it. So everybody should know who your ward councillor is.
Yeah.
just briefly before we do that, I'd like to just sort of draw your attention to the Mayor's charity. Every year the Mayor has a charity. Well, Lynn and I this year have got 7. And what we've done is the 7 charities are Battersea Dogs Home, Diabetes UK, Harlington Hospice, Macmillan Cancer Support, NSPCC, Riding for the Disabled, and the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. And the reason, what we did, we went to see all of these charity fundraising executives and asked them what one thing they would want. And then we costed that, so everything each of those charities has got one thing. For example, the Harlington Hospice, which is being rebuilt, wanted a new bathroom for this new part of the building. So that's what it costed, and that's what we're raising money for. And we've got all the logos, etc., and all the descriptions of what it's all about on this leaflet.
They are all local, aren't they?
And they're all to do, it's Diabetes UK or any of the Macmillan things, anything you see on there is Uxbridge based. So it's all for the London Borough of Uxbridge. It doesn't go UK wide or anything like that. Because so much of this charity money, we felt, Lynn and I, actually went into a big black hole and you didn't know what it was actually for. So that's what that's all about. We're currently running at what? We've been in post since May the 9th.
And we're up to about 12,000.
About £12,000. Yeah. And the big cheque you see up there was lovely actually, because we had we were asked to open the Coca-Cola building in Uxbridge, Baker's Yard, and the global director of Coca-Cola came to visit and unveil the plaque with me, and we did a visit through the offices, which you've never seen anything like it in your life. It must have cost millions and millions. They have a Costa coffee bar on every floor, there's a gymnasium at the top. But moreover, what struck me about it was the efficiency of this building. In the boardroom there was the long boardroom table and a wall as long as that wall, which was just a big video screen. And I said to the global director, I said, what is that for? So he pushed a button on the table, his console come out, and it had all the countries they deal with, and he pushed Paris, and the director of Paris came up on the screen, and we just spoke like we're talking to you. Yeah. So what do we need to go to Paris for? Everything can be done on that screen, and as somebody else talks, the microphone and camera automatically move. It is absolutely amazing. And when we came downstairs to do the sort of speeches, etc., there was a sort of check in front of me, which I couldn't see what it said, and I had a peek over and it had got a 50. I thought, well, £500, and it was £5,000 donation. And the other interesting thing, and don't forget this is the top man of Coca-Cola, my wife Lynn was dressed in Coca-Cola colours, as you do, you know, red and white.
Just trying to be a bit of a creep, you know.
And she said to this director, the only thing I couldn't get was a pair of Coca-Cola earrings. 4 days later, a lovely package came for a pair of silver Coca-Cola earrings. So that was absolutely lovely, you know.
One trouble.
There we go.
You aren't allowed to accept gifts that are over a certain amount of money, and these were £55, which is way over what you're allowed to accept. And so what we're going to do with them now, we're going to put them as part of a raffle or an auction. I should be mad because I'd love to have worn them, but unless these things happen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, any questions so far before we move through to the chamber?
I know you said you're the mayor and the only one above you is the Queen. Now what about the Lord Mayor of London? Isn't that, don't you have to answer to him for anything in any way? No. Or is he the same level as you?
In his domain, he's the, you know, you've got the, because technically there's actually the Lord Mayor of the City of London,
right,
which is the square mile. Then you've actually got Boris, who is the Lord Mayor of Greater London.
Right.
So each London authority pays something to Greater London, because if you look on your council tax, you've actually got that percentage paid. But with the City of London, they have their own police force, which is really self-funding within the city. So everything is self-contained. So local authorities or local boroughs actually are responsible for their own area. So you've actually got 32 London boroughs.
London borough, yeah.
So you've got, each one's got its mayor, mayor and everything. Yeah.
And if you look at the London Eye, there's 32 pods on that, which is the 32 London boroughs. And the only one that's blacked out is pod 13. This is unlucky.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Another useless piece of information is the fact that that eye, which has gone all over the world now, was actually designed originally by a 12-year-old girl in a school in Hackney.
Yeah.
Now,
And the drawing's still up there, what she drew, and they actually produced it. We actually saw it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Coming, it was laid across the river. They built it like that, and then they got these whacking great big. I can't remember how thick these cables were to pull it upright. They nearly didn't make it, I think, at one time, did they? You know. Anyway, what we'll do now, we're going to the chamber, and I'll talk to you a little bit.
It's probably
Hold
best
on.
to go up with the lifts.
Yes, I was just thinking.
Yeah,
some
there's
people-
quite a steep flight of stairs up to the chamber, so anyone wants to go up there.
I'll go in the lift.
Have you got
It's
it?
been a real privilege to have you here this afternoon. I really do, on behalf of Lynn and myself, hope you've enjoyed yourself. I've enjoyed the actual history of the mayoralty, although you probably won't have taken it all in. And I hope you've enjoyed the tea. So you owe us a lunch, right? So you owe us a lunch.
Thank you very much.
Could you
Yeah.
call out the team, because they've done all the rushing backwards and forwards? Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Go on then,
yes,
Councillor.
Patrick as well.
Right, no, ladies and gentlemen, before you all go, I'd just like you to remind you about the charities we're supporting this year. Battersea Dogs Home, Diabetes UK, Harlington Hospice, Macmillan Cancer Support, NSBCC, Riding for the Disabled, and the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. And the reason why we've got seven colours of the rainbow, and it's called the Mayor's Rainbow Appeal. Okay? And each one of these, there is a separate item that they have chosen that they need. And it is all Hillingdon based. So this is not the big UK or worldwide. This will support people in Hillingdon. So I hope that if you're doing any fundraising at the Elm Club or the Tudor Club, that you might spare a few coppers for the Mayor's Appeal. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Right. And on the back?